Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0.
The score, Steelers 7, Colts 0. Chris Boswell to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there. A jumbo package look. They'll run. This is Jonathan Taylor. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. This defense for the Steelers, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
1st and 10.
Here's Mariota. And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. Derek Barnett in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Mariota. And that's caught by the tight end, Branson. And it's out. He put it on the carpet. And it's picked up by the Steelers. Well, he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Extra point now by Boswell. And it's good to make it 14-0.
Makes the score, Steelers 14, Colts 0.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Charles, season winding down, time to maybe look ahead to the offseason. What do you see these guys going after either in the draft or free agency?
Well, with the season that they're having, just about every position is up for grabs right now. No one is really safe, but the focal point's always the quarterback position. And he may be auditioning to try and stay with his own current team. I think he's auditioning for the rest of the league to try and find a spot because I think this team is looking for a new quarterback.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. That is caught. It's Dante Pettis. The 20. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch. Extra point by Blankenship is up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they, on paper, Charles, no doubt they have the edge in this one. They are sitting with the AFC elite, and on the other side, they're down toward the bottom of the AFC. But you know what they say, especially at this point in the season, watch out for a trap game.
And in doing so, I would take my game plan and condense it. I would rely on my fundamentals, the fact that my players are probably just better, and not try and do too much. Do just enough to win the game. And on the other side of the field, I'm doing everything. Every trick play I can think of, every different formation, you name it, I'm throwing it at them in order to try and get the upset win.
The pass rush specialist, Dee Ford, in on the stop. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Looking to throw. Marshall. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Marshall. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. On 4th down, here's Presley Harvin on to punt. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Looking for Pettis, but that's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. So problems with errant passing continuing. Remember, he threw 2 picks in the loss last week, and now another here in this first quarter.
And sometimes, partner, this is the result of a quarterback who's simply trying to do too much. Feels like he's trying to make up for what he did last week, and he can't do it all on one throw.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness.
And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Well, Brandon, if we go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator, he showed us his script. Didn't show us everything now. He said, here's the script for the game. I think everything's going according to plan in a big way. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, that's about as good. That is as good as you can do, I guess. So, well done.
Yeah, well done indeed. Tremendous execution.
Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Week after week, we're seeing plays plays like this from him, and I think he's in line. We've discussed it before for NFL Defensive Player of the Year.
And a big reason why, I think, is because of his ball skills. And that's something that, for guys in his position, they've talked about it for years. They've done the drills. But they've really increased it in recent seasons because of the offense have gotten so good. He knows how to take the ball away. That is huge for a defender.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
On 2nd down, it's Harris. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And they're able to get this one across the 35. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try the left side with Taylor. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
On 2nd and 9, Mariota. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Now, that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. Mariota. He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Boy, a lot of moving parts on this play, but what a nice design to leak the running back out to the left and send him down the field. And a good job spotting him and hitting him for a big play.
Catch made here by Campbell. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here, and now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll run here with Taylor. A good display of power, but ultimately it gets him just inside the 5 to the 4 and no further. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and 1.
Here's Taylor again. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run.
And it'll be intercepted. Snags it for the pick. And the Steelers will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make...
It got his man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A.J. Brown with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are able to widen their lead here in this first half.
makes the score.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the rout is on here in this first half. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you've got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
Throwing is Mariota. He'll check this down to Hines. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. 1st and 10, Taylor now. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45.
12 more yards. That's another Colts first down.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now Taylor. Bulldozes past him. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
They got a completion there, but that's clearly an example of one side happy, the other side not very happy. Defense, hey, take 1 or 2 yards, we're good with that. Offense, you got to expect to get more on a passing play.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, Mariota. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Rodrigo Blankenship for the Colts field goal. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. Blankenship's kick is good. And that drops a deficit from 28 to 25. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. To Harris. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the 27-yard line.
So we have come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we'll head down to Orlando. That's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done, and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Third down and 11.
Throwing, Mariota. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And all the way down to the 37. A big play there for Indy.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On first down, Taylor, nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. That result, really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense, and guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Throw going to be caught left side here by Granson. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good game and a first down.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
On second down, here's a keeper by the QB. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. The quarterback run, good for 10 that time, but it does lead to a 3rd down.
Hey, boys, we got 4 down. Check 83, ball's going to 83.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
2 yards. It's 4th down.
Mariota to throw for it on 4th. Touchdown, Colts! Michael Pittman with touchdown number 8 on the air. And the Colts are able to cut into this lead as they score on the opening drive of the second half. It took a pretty big risk right there going for it on 4th down, but hey, not only did they get the first down, forget about that, they got in the end zone.
Yeah, because normally you're just thinking, can I get enough yardage to get it past the sticks and pick up a first down? Instead, they go for the end zone and get it done with no margin for error. Remember, 4th down, they went for it.
Rodrigo Blankenship to kick off for Indianapolis.
So after the touchdown, here's Blankenship kicking off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
You can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
A quick pass out to Juju. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves. Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Marshall. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Off the play fake. Marshall going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. He's got a man complete. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Juju Smith-Schuster with touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead is now 24.
42. Colts 18. Chris Boswell.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe
they probably need to do it.
One that you're used to touching the football, that makes big plays, and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. On 3rd down, Mariota. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Dane Cruikshank. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. Boswell for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Next to score, Steelers 49, Colts 18. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there, it's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. The Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Now Mariota escaping the pressure right. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off around the 37. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick six for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick six in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Steelers 56, Colts 18. Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
25-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talk about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Yeah. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. And just a short gain that time as they're able to get him down. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
After watching that play result, it took me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and we asked him, so how you plan to move the ball against his defense?
He didn't really tip his hand, did he?
No, he didn't. I think it's because he really didn't have an answer. He wasn't quite sure how he was going to get it done, and that play showed us exactly why he was worried.
Yeah, this number 1 defense, they can put that on their highlight reel. They have been able to stop the run all season long. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll run on first down. It's Taylor. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain. Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
A gain of a yard brings up 3rd and 3.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Stephon Tuitt able to shake free and get home for the sack.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
Desperation time. Mariota on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
He's not getting trying to get me?
They'll run again with Harris. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about it.